Lord Tremendous here. Got another battle report here for you. 2,000-point battle. My Warriors of Chaos versus my opponent's High Elves. Yup. I go toe-to-toe against a buddy of mine, and I mean, it's Wrathgar. It's the same guy I've been playing with his High Elves. He's been tweaking his list. I've been just trying to get used to mine, but as the picture shows, this one does not go well for Lord Audacious, not even slightly. He's looking a little rough, and his Manticore, even all armored up, he's got some serious wounds to him as well. So, with that spoiler out of the way, sit back, relax, and get ready to see the carnage. Here's my list, and again, no real changes, just a couple of tweaks, mostly in core. My characters stay the exact same. Chaos Lord Audacious, he's my general. The Mark of Chaos Undivided, he's on his Manicore with a flail and a shield. Favor of the Gods ×2, Brazen Collar, Armor Damned, and Poisonous Slime. I just like this kit. Then, of course, I have my Sorcerer Lord Tremendous, and he's still on his Demonic Mount. He's a level 4 Wizard with Demonology, Mark of Chaos Undivided, Spell Familiar, Tomb of the Dark Gods, Rumbling Ruin, and the Armor of Meteoric Iron, because rerollable 5-ups are very nice. And then, of course, I have my Exalted Sorcerer. He is unnamed because the Puppet Master died in the last game, and we haven't renamed him yet. Working on it. He's on a Chaos Steed. He's a level 2 Wizard with Battle Magic, Mark Zinch, and the Infernal Puppet. For my core, I have 587 points in total, 5 Chaos Warhounds, butt naked, 9 Marauder Horsemen. I kind of combined the two because having a bigger cloud of them seemed like a better idea. So if they do get into combat, hopefully they're still viable. Mark Corrin, Standard, Musician, Light Armor, Shield, Flail, and Javelins. I think the only real difference to their kit is I added a Musician. I probably should have just added a Unit Champion. I don't know why I added a Musician, but I did. Then I have 13 Chaos Marauders, which is just one more from before. Standard, Mark Horn, Light Armor, Shield, Flails, and Skirmish Formation. Last but not least is my Wish Knights, the 6 Chaos Knights. Full Command Lances, Banner of Rage, Brazen Collar, and the Mark of Nurgle. In special, I just have my Dragon Ogre, the Shark Tack with a great weapon and the Blackened Plate. And then in rare, I have my 2 Gigantic Spawns of Chaos with the Spawn of Corn Mark. My opponent for this one was my buddy Wrathgar, and he's playing his High Elf list, and he gave me this art to use. That is his Archmage on the god-awful Star Dragon of Doom. So yeah, I think that's actually really, really cool, and it gives me a face to go with my hatred, and I appreciate that. Speaking of hatred, though, he has 993 points in characters, starting with his Prince, who's his general. He's got a longbow, full plate armor, and a shield, as well as he's being on a Frostheart Phoenix. He's got the Ogre Blade, the Seed of Rebirth, a Dragon Helm, and he is anointed of Surian. His Archmage now has a name. She is Karina Lorraine? I'm going to say Lorraine. That's what I'm going to say. I don't care. I want to disrespect her, so I hope I'm saying it wrong. She's a level 4 wizard with high magic. My idea. Yeah, I know. I like to make myself bleed. She's on her Star Dragon Dragnor, something like that. It's a family dragon, so it's Dragnor Lorraine, I'm going to assume. Seed of Rebirth, Lore Familiar, Talisman of Protection, and the Silvery Wand, as well as being pure of heart. I don't know, with eyeliner like that, I don't know how pure her heart is. Very judgy. In core, he's got his brick of 20 Lothran Sea Guard with Standard, Musician, Thrusting Spears, Warbows, Light Armor, Shields, and a Razor Standard. He's got 3 units of 10 Elven Archers, all with Musicians, because when they go out to fight with, style and a little bit of ace. He's got no special choices in this list, just rare, with 2 Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers, a Lion Chariot of Trace, however you want to say that, it's High Elven, I don't care, and a Lothran Skycutter with another Eagle Eye Bolt Thrower attached. So very, very shooty, very dangerous army. The spells I got for this one were the Summoning, Blue Flame, Fleshy Abundance, Vortex of Chaos, and Steed of Shadows for Lord Tremendous. And for the unnamed Baby Mage, I got Blue Flame and Pillar of Fire, I think. My opponent got Shield of Safri, Fury of Cain, Corporal Unmaking, Walk Between Worlds, I believe, and Drain Magic. Sorry, I'm not as familiar with high magic as most of the other lores. And here's deployment. My thoughts were pretty much surround and conquer. He's got a lot of counters to my army with these two chariots. The bolt throwers were a little concerning considering I have three real viable targets for him. And he's got a ton of shooting now. It went from just a couple of Sea Guard to I think like 40 rounds of shooting and a minimum, probably more. And yeah, I didn't really see an opening or anything like that. So on the left flank there, I've got Lord Tremendous right behind the Marauders. Again, going to try to see the shadows them into there, but I really didn't know where to put them exactly because the chariots, the phoenix, anything that runs into them are going to murder them. I didn't have a whole lot of great opportunities, and he kind of countered my strategy with his army list alone. In the center, I mean, the dogs being screened for the knights with the baby mage in the back there, just trying to get close to his mage to make casting more difficult. Right next to them, I've got both my spawn and my general, and the hope is to get into his Phoenix Lord and try to take him down before the dragon can get in there. You'll see how that goes. And then on the right, I've got the cloud of Marauder horsemen that are hopefully going to run into that hill and take them out, with the dragon ogre backing them up. That was really it. Shoot forward and try to get a hold of them before they can shoot me off the table while avoiding his biggest threats. I really didn't see a great option here. On my opponent's side, our left, his right flank, he's got his bolt thrower right behind well, not right behind, but behind the house there from our perspective, right next to his lion chariot protecting him. He's got 10 archers, and behind them are his sky cutter, or is his sky cutter anyway. In the woods are his sea guard. Behind them is his archmage on a dragon. Next to them is another unit of elven archers with the general on a phoenix right behind him. And then on the hill is his second bolt thrower with his last unit of elven archers. That's it for deployment. All right, here's top of turn one, and as usual, I did not get to go first. I don't know what it is. When I get to go first, it throws me off really, really bad. So he comes forward. He's able to get I don't remember what it's called. I think drain magic off on his dragon. So basically, everything within 24 inches fires at stuff like it's got magic resistance too, which is a very cool spell. I'm not gonna lie, and it's a rip no less. So he just has to get it off, and then I've got to try to dispel it as soon as I can. And spoiler, I'm not able to. Uh, his general and his dragon move forward. Everything else stays still, and really, that's it for his movement. His shooting phase starts off pretty strong with the archers on the hill firing at my marauders and taking them down to 7. So he only kills two or three, something like that. Yeah, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, he kills 3 there. So not excellent. I was kind of hoping to make some armor saves, but apparently that's for other people to do, not me. And then the second unit of archers I can see, which I think was only like 8 or 9 of them, they shoot and they kill 4 more. Yeah, I have a 5 up armor on him. I just don't know how to roll a 5 apparently. Golly. And then his third unit of archers shoots at the marauders on foot, killing 3 of them. They have a 5 up armor as well. I swear they have it. We go here to bottom of one, and I do what I can. I'm able to get Fleshy Abundance off on Lord Tremendous. I'm able to get Seed of Shadows off on the Marauders on foot, thinking, hey, I'll send them over there, and maybe they can do something. I don't know. I thought I should have probably moved Lord Tremendous over there with them to try to help them out, push them forward and stuff like that. But with the chariots and the bolt thrower and all the shooting, I was afraid to leave them exposed, so I tossed them into the woods. Maybe it was a mistake. Who fucking cares? The dogs move forward to tempt the dragon. I didn't want him to be able to just charge a dragon and slam into the knights with his dragon because I figured he was going to. The spawn moved forward, and I don't know why I did that. I have no excuse at all. It was the stupidest fucking thing I could have done, but I did it because stupidity is my middle name. And then on the right flank, everything moves up to threaten his stuff on our right flank. And yeah, that's literally all that happens during my phase. I'm not able to get any spells off. It's just awful. That brings us over here to top of turn two, and that's when I realized just how bad at this game I truly am. I just no, I made mistakes, and my opponent capitalized on them because I'm an idiot. His dragon and his phoenix slam into one of my spawns, so he's guaranteed dead unless my opponent rolls absolutely horribly. Which honestly, in the past few games I played against him, he has. So it's still a viable tactic. Yeah, but I'm SOL and I know it. Other than that, nothing else really moves other than his chariot just kind of redirects to look over at the Marauders because I don't know what the fuck I was thinking about putting them over there. The Sky Cutter moves over to threaten my right flank, and nothing else has to move because they're going to shoot at me. That's it for movement. In the shooting phase, his bolt thrower, I believe, fires at my Marauders and is able to kill three more of them because, consistency. On the right flank, the one unit of archers is all it really took, and they murdered the last two Marauder horsemen who successfully didn't make one 5-up armor save the entire game. I'm glad they're dead. I would like to spit on their graves. If they were real, I would track down their graves and spit on them. As with all things, when the elves run out of easy targets, they pick on lonely, sad animals that have done nothing wrong, and the sea guards shoot and kill three of my warhounds. They didn't deserve that. The chaos guys did nothing wrong, nothing at all, and he just murders three animals because high elves are terrible people. I want you to know that. The funny part is they actually make their leadership check, which was hilarious. Now that he's done softening me up, we go into combat and they obliterate my spawn. No problem whatsoever. And of course, when it comes to Timber, I roll a 2, he rolls a 6, so nothing happens. Oh man, yeah, this punishment is well deserved. I'm taking this L hard. The follow up is perfect for my opponent. His Star Dragon slams into my Knights, so she'll be able to obliterate them no problem. And the Frost Phoenix turns around to deal with my right flank, and probably have no problem with it whatsoever. Ugh. Ugh, if I was playing any more for him, I might as well not have an opponent. I could take myself out, no problem at all. We go over to bottom of turn two after movement, and the only thing that really happens is my general slams into the bolt thrower. I could have gone into the archers. I wanted to hit the bolt thrower because I figured honestly the dragon ogre could take care of the archers next turn. He did charge and failed because failure's my middle name. Nothing else was alive really worth charging into. I mean, I suppose the warhounds could, or the chaos warhounds could have gone into the sea guard, but they would have just stood, shot, and killed him anyway. So what's the point? Yeah, Lord Tremendous moves over to take some pot shots at his general on the Frost Phoenix because it's worked before, and the Marauders on foot just kind of move away because they can't take a charge from the chariot. I don't know what I was thinking putting them over there. I'm just a moron, and now I've got to try to compensate for being a moron. That's really it. There's nothing else for me to do. Nothing happens in the magic phase. I can't get anything to go off, and if I do, it doesn't do any damage because that's just the way it is. So we go straight into combat, and yay, my general is able to take care of a bolt thrower. That's just tremendous. So there was no way for me to turn to face or anything like that. If I were to restrain and stay an inch away from either of the archers, I wouldn't have been able to do it. So I just overran because I also didn't want to catch a rear charge from his general and stuff like that, and the flank from the Sky Cutter that was over there. So I just fired forward and I was able to get off the table. He'll come back next turn. My unit champion issues a challenge. His Archmage on a dragon accepts it no problem. The Archmage really didn't do anything, but the dragon was able to do, I think, 4 wounds to the unit champion. Obviously, the unit champion didn't get to do anything back. He's got 4 wounds in close order. I think I have a banner in close order, so he wins by 3. I believe it's 3. The knights fall back in good order, and he restrains and turns to face Lord Tremendous. And this is where I know it's like, God, I didn't even see this coming. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I did not see this coming. I don't know why. Apparently, sitting on my shoulders is very comforting. I don't know. I guess it's sterile and I like the taste. But yeah, I see it after the fact. And I'm like, oh man, I'm an idiot. So yeah, guess whose turn it is next? Oh, you don't have to guess. I will show you. It's top of 3, and it's his turn. His Star Dragon slams right into Lord Tremendous, and at this point, I've accepted it. I see how badly I've been playing. I see that my head just isn't in the game, and I could give a million excuses. I'm just going to say it's skill based. I have very little. So yeah, he slams into me, no problem. Gets a hold of Lord Tremendous, and I deserve this. His chariot moves around to threaten the Marauders who are trying to get away. His Sea Guard, and I think one of his unit of archers turn around to face the general when he comes back on the table next turn, and his Skycutter moves up to countercharge the Dragon Ogre because everybody and their brother knows where they're going. The only thing that he did that kind of surprised me was his Frost Phoenix turns around to try to deal with my Infernal Puppet and my Knights, and yeah, that's it for his movement. In the shooting phase, the unit of archers takes out the remaining 2 dogs because animal murder is a high elf specialty. His second unit of archers, the ones that can see, which I think might have been all of them, to be perfectly honest with you. We draw the lines and stuff like that, and I think all of them were able to see. But anyway, they shoot at the spawner and put a wound on him, no problem. We go into combat, and it's not even close. Lord Tremendous is able to put a single wound through on the caster, and that's it. He gets obliterated by the dragon. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. The dragon eats me alive, and it should. It's a fucking dragon. I gotta be honest. At this point in the game, I've accepted that I've lost. I'm gonna go through the game because sometimes you gotta lose. You can't win them all, and I deserve to lose this one. It's not just my dice, although I am rolling like shit. It's not just my opponent's dice or anything like that. He's rolling average at best, to be perfectly honest. My tactics, my strategy are stupid, are bad, and I deserve to lose. But this fight right here, what I saw, like what his dragon was doing and how he was able to move around, I got real bad dragon envy. I wanted a dragon. I wanted it a Metagacy back. And she, of course, restrains, turns to face the knights, and yeah, that's going to be the next fight. That takes us to bottom of turn 3, and I know I've lost, so now I'm just going for broke. The baby mage charges into the general so that my knights can charge into his star dragon. Do I think I'm going to win this combat? I don't. I'm pretty sure I've lost. What I'm hoping for is to put some wounds on this stupid dragon before the knights are just pummeled. Either she was going to charge them or they were going to charge her. There was no two ways about it. And the only way for them to charge her was to send the idiot mage into the general. So sacrifice the mage that was dead anyway to sacrifice the knights who were dead anyway. Maybe I can do some wounds. It is a decent amount of attacks. We'll see. The marauders on the left flank there, I just don't care anymore. They move up to look at the chariot and accept their fate. The spawn moves up about 15 inches, so he rolled really well, and he moved up so that he can be shot off the table. That'll be fun. The dragon ogre finally makes it into combat with the archers. I think he either took a wound last turn in his shooting or took one going in. I think it was taking one going in. I'm well aware that fucking chariot's going to charge him in the rear next turn anyway, but I'm going to lose anyway, so I might as well try to take out as many as I can. And finally, my general comes back in on the remaining moves up, and I move him that direction to basically say, you don't know which way I'm going to go, you don't know which one I'm going to charge, but hey, at least this way I'm threatening everybody, and that's it for movement. I have no shooting phase, so we go into combat, and my knights do terrible. 9 attacks. So first of all, she attacks and flubs, which was fan-frickin-tastic. I have all the attacks in the world. She doesn't flub. I think she kills 2 or 3 guys, but I have 9 attacks back. No, she killed 1. Anyway, I have 9 attacks back. I'm excited. I'm like, yay, I get to attack, and I fail. I mean, not only fail, but I horribly fucking fail. My dice are so bad. I think I owe him child support. Like, I don't know how I rolled that bad, but I owe him money now. Nothing gets through whatsoever. The dragon stomps the shit out of those useless fucking idiots, and she kills all of them. They don't break, they don't flee, they die to a man because they don't deserve the title knight. They might as well be, I don't know, peasants. They're just garbage. Absolute trash. The dragon easily restrains and turns to face wherever the target, light environment might offer her now, since most of my stuff is dead. And if anybody ever wonders why people burn dice and burn models, shit like this is why we do it. Because some things shouldn't exist. Those knights, if they were real, if they were tangible, would be on fire right now. I promise you that. Including the dice. To absolutely no one's surprise whatsoever, the baby mage gets hit and wounded 647 times, dying horrible, horrible deaths. The general turns around laughing because everything is going high elf ways, which actually makes this the most painful part of the entire game. I hate it when high elves succeed. Over here, my Dragon Ogre actually does pretty well. He kills 4 of them, but he took a wound going in, and I think they have close order. So I win by 3. They fall back in good order. He pursues, and they fall back just enough where he's still got his ass on hill there, so the Sky Cutter will be able to charge into him no problem. Oh well. So with that over, here's top of 4 after movement, and yeah, it's all over but the crying. The chariot slams into the marauders on the left flank. His general moves forward. I'm sorry, his Star Dragon moves forward. His general slams into the rear of my Chaos Spawn. The Sky Cutter slams into the rear of the Dragon Ogre, and the rest of the archers just kind of turn around a little bit to watch the carnage because they're laughing. Well, with the exception of the archers that are in combat with the Dragon Ogre, everything else is laughing pretty hysterically. In the shooting phase, the Sea Guard fire at the general and put another wound on him. And then we go into the combat, where the chariot easily blasts through all the marauders without taking any damage back whatsoever. I don't even think I got an attack. Just mulched them. Useless fucking unit. Honestly, I can't remember if he failed his restraint check or if he just chose to overrun, but he ends up over there after the combat's done. In this one, his general hits and wounds with all of his attacks, murdering the Chaos Spawn before he can do anything. Honestly, I think I won this timber, and I did one wound that failed to wound. So just... Man, this is going to be the hardest L I've ever had cracked upside the back of my head. In combat right here, the Dragon Ogre does better than any other part of this useless garbage army. Kills, I think, 4 or 5 more of the archers, takes 2 more wounds from the Sky Cutter. I lose this combat by 1, I believe. He falls back in good order, but unfortunately he does away from the chariot, bouncing through the archers, takes his perils check. I roll another 1 and he dies. So yeah, that's unfortunate, but the Dragon Ogre is the only unit in this entire army that actually produced anything. I guess the general did too, but taking out a bolt thrower isn't something I'm proud of. So nope, the Dragon Ogre, as usual, is the only model that gets any praise. Both units are able to restrain, and they just turn to face the general because I believe he's the only Chaos model left on the table because I played like shit, and my opponent played competently. That brings us over here to bottom of turn 4, and I charge his Sea Guard, who fled, bounced through the archers and got away. The archers they bounced through past their leadership, no problem, and my general ends up in the woods with his flank exposed for whoever wants to charge in and kill him to charge in and kill him. That's it for my turn. Here's top of turn 5 after movement. His Star Dragon slams into my general. Everything else just kind of turns around to watch her kick his ass. That's it for movement. Nothing happens in combat, but before we get in there, he's able to get Walk Between Worlds and Fury of Cain off on his general, or I'm sorry, on his Archmage on the dragon, which means I can do nothing to her. She gets +1 attack with +1 AP, and is now ethereal. I have no magical attacks on this guy. It's the perfect setup. And like I told my opponent, high magic is the better choice. And I was right, and I get to prove that fact. She slams in, she's able to do a single wound to him, and has a flank. Close order cancels out. I lose by 2. And I just give ground. I mean, that's not bad. It's not bad at all. We go to bottom of turn 5, and spoilers, there's no movement, there's no magic, there's nothing. So we go straight into combat where her dragon obliterates me. Right, because, yeah, just no saves made at all. He dies like the rat dog that he is. That's the end of the game right there. I got tabled in less than 6 turns. I played horribly, and I deserved this. My opponent played very well, played intelligently, everything that I didn't, and this is exactly what the outcome should have been. I'm disgusted with myself. Oh, man. Taking a loss is never easy, but taking a loss this hard when you're playing just like trash. Yeah, my dice sucked, but that wasn't the reason for this loss. My tactics, strategy, and choices were horrible, and my opponent took advantage of every mistake that I made, and he should have. That's exactly what I was trying to do to him. So, yeah, this is what should have happened, and I personally blame High Elves. Just in general, I blame High Elves. That's how racism works, people, okay? It doesn't have to be logical. Anyway, let's get to the recap because I want to drink this memory away. Oh, man. Now, there's getting your ass whooped, and then there's getting your ass whooped. This was the latter. Oh, my God. I don't think I've been beaten so badly in my entire Warhammer career. I mean, that includes, just tabletop, life in general. I don't think I've been beaten up this badly ever. Ever. I I actually called the police after this game to report an attempted murder, and they are investigating Rathgar after I sent them this report, because honestly, how could you see it any other way? Oh, man. But in seriousness, my tactics, my choices, my dice, my strategy, everything I did was exactly wrong. It was horrendously wrong in this game, and I have no excuse other than sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail. Brother, I got nailed. Bad. Rathgar, he played beautifully. He played exactly how he should have with his army, and this is exactly the outcome that should have occurred, because he made no mistakes. It was a wonderful game to watch from his side of the table, I'm sure. I won't lie, I have Dragon Envy. Katrina, or Karina, whatever her stupid name is, she's a high elf, I don't care. She's barely people. I have Dragon Envy, though. I don't want to run a Chaos Dragon. They're way too expensive. Even, like, if I take a level 3 Sorcerer or anything like that, it's still, like, 700 points, and what a point sink that is. It's not how I want to play this army, so I have another idea. I think I'm gonna have to make a change. I think I hear Ida Metagasi calling back out to me and demanding Pouty Lips. This'll be fast because it was a very one-sided game. I got none of his characters, so those numbers all stay the same, which I'm still very happy with those numbers, I gotta admit. Core, I didn't get any more of a Sea Guard. I tried, but I did kill 8 Elven archers, so the 30 of them that were on the table, I was able to kill 8 with an entire 2,000 point army. Oh, God, I did terrible. There was no specials, so none of those change. And in rare, you didn't have any sisters. I didn't get a sky cutter. I was able to kill a single bolt thrower. Thank God I threw a chaos lord at him to do it, because otherwise I don't know if it would have happened. Oh my God, did I play terrible. Oh, I deserve this. And now I just get to have some fun showing you the numbers from my previous conquests. Yes, the orcs and goblins are a little thin, but hey, if you're an orc and goblin player and want to play, let me know. I'd love to up these numbers and get a good game in with you. There's the recap of the Wood Elves and the Tomb Kings, the unworthy ones, of course. And speaking of unworthy, here's the Demons of Chaos and the Warriors of Chaos that I've decided needed to go back to the Warp for retraining, because they kind of sucked. And that's it. Another battle report is in the history books. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, feel free to put them in the comment section below, and I will get back to you as quick as I can. And as always, thanks!